Hey. I know nobody's going to be on here because it's early in the morning, but check it out. I ran out of my Savvy Minerals foundation that I made for myself. I blended several powder shades in order to get my perfect shade. So I use, I've got a full dark 4, and I just took the little cap off in order to show you how I'm blending. So I've got dark 4, which is too dark for me. I've got dark 3, which is too light for me. And I've got multitasker tan, which has red in it. So, well, it appears red. I need a red in my foundation powder. So I've got this handy dandy bowl, and I wish I had a really cool camera that would show you me and my table, but I don't. So you're gonna have to live with this. And I've got a little cool stir stick. All right, so I've made my original shade using testers from, or samples that a friend sent, or Jen sent me. So this is my first time making both, or using full sized powders to make it. So I'm pretty sure it was a 50-50. So I'm going to pour all of my dark in the bowl. I'm going to pour all of my dark 4, and this is all my dark 3. And I'm going to reuse these containers. So these containers, I'm putting the tops back on once I'm done, and I'll just have 2 full. So the whole thought is, well, I've got all these, I mean, I have to buy all these powders, and I'm going to have, but I'm going to have 2, once I'm done with this, I'm going to have 2 full powders, and they'll last for a while. So there's no problem with me buying multiple powders. So I'm just going to stir this up. I'm going to stir it up real good. And I'm going to do this. It would be I probably should sift it together, but that would probably really get it all blended really good. But we're going to use this method this first time. Hey, Yoli. Thanks for joining. I am making my foundation powder. So I'm blending 3 powder shades together in order to get my perfect tone, or perfect shade. So right now I've got my dark 3 and my dark 4 in here, and I'm using a little stir stick. Are you using it for you, or is it just straight powder? Tell me what you asked that question again, Yoli. This is my foundation powder that I use for me. Sorry, and I know I read that all slow, but I was trying to make out what you were saying. So right now I'm just blending the dark 3 and dark 4, and I like to really get it incorporated, so I'm like stirring a lot. So this is the shade that I have now. Now I know that doesn't look much different than what you probably saw before, but the magic is in the blending to get your perfect tone. So now I know that I have red undertones, and this would be, too light. So I'm going to add my multitasker tan, and it's going to also darken it and give it some red. I'm pouring the whole thing in there. I think I'm pretty fortunate because, so this is you can see the color difference in there. So now it's going to darken it a little bit and add the red. No, I'm not using any oil. No oil. This is just all powders I'm blending together. And I'm going to blend that multitasker in there. Stir, stir, stir. Make sure you stir really good. Now that I think about baking, and I probably should have sifted this all together, because it probably would incorporate it a lot better. But now that next time, once this is blended, I'm going to kind of show you what it looks like. I didn't bring a brush, but I can do a little swatch on my face. So this is definitely looking like my color. And again, the original time I did this, I was using a sample size, and I just estimated. I threw these all together and using that sample size, and it felt like it was 50-50 on the foundations, and it felt like I was, you know, just a little bit from the Multitasker Tan. So this is definitely looking like my color. I'm really excited about this. Boop. I'm really excited about that color. All right. I know it's not too late. I don't like to cross-contaminate. You know, I don't like to cross-contaminate. I don't have a sifter that I haven't already used in my kitchen. So when I have to buy one separate. I don't like to use my kitchen utensils on any blends that I make. It's just not my thing. All right, so I'm gonna pour these. I'm gonna try and get a little sample out of here without it. Okay, let's see. Look at that. I mean, I can dig it. I love this. I get really excited about blending, because when I first started using Savvy, like, I used their Dark 4, and I really wanted Dark 4 to work because I didn't want to have to be the one that had to blend colors together, and it just didn't work. Like, it was just way too dark. And then I knew Dark 3 wasn't my color because, I mean, you can look at it, it's just not my color. And then Savvy came out with the Multitasker Tan, and it had the red tone, because I've always been looking for the red undertone. And when they came out with the Multitasker Tan, I thought, holy crap. So I had Jen send me a sample of it. I had a Dark 3. She sent me, I had a Dark 4. I put those together and put that tan in there, and it was like perfect. So I'm really excited that I was able to blend and use 50% Dark 4, 50% Dark 3, and a full Multitasker Tan, because that just makes the blending so much easier. I don't have to use like a third and a quarter. Like, I can blend them all together, and it's my perfect shade. So don't give up on, you know, getting foundation powders and having to blend your own. It's super easy to blend. Like, that took me just a few seconds, and I'm a little OCD, so I'm still stirring when it was probably already incorporated. This stuff is so light. Like, so when I put it on, and the reason why, because I haven't really been wearing makeup a lot in the past several years. And the reason why I've been wearing makeup again is because I put this on, and it feels like nothing. So I'm like, why not? Why not put a little, you know, I call it blur powder on my face to like blur out some of my imperfections, and I really enjoy it. And again, it feels like there's nothing on my face. Now, Yoli, for your tones, your undertones, I couldn't say I knew mine either. I just used to use a brand that when I was trying to compare shades, and I really liked that brand's shade, but I don't like the brand's ingredients. I realized by looking at those shades that it had red in it. It was very clear that there was red in there. So I was like, oh, I guess I have red undertones. Like, I'm not really good at determining what undertones I have. I personally, for you, think you have an olive undertone, if I were to make a wild guess. But that's just my guess. I don't know that that helps you understand what powders you should blend together in order to get your perfect shade. But do you even like wearing powder? Or do you just not, because you're like, I know you're super non-toxic and you want to make sure you're using quality stuff? I'll wait for you to respond. I know there's a delay. And so what I'm doing now is I'm just putting the powder back in here, and I'm gonna try and split it out equally. I probably should have brought my scale in here because it would have been a lot easier to make them equal if I had my scale. Oh, cool. All right, Yoli. Well, I'm glad I could kind of help with getting you giving you some perspective on how you can find your shade. I was matching colors online with colors in a bottle, or colors in a package of old foundation powder that I used to use. So that's how I realized that, oh, I've got red in my undertones. But anyway, I'm going to show you guys now. So I've got the powder in here. I think that's pretty good. And I'm just going to take my little, see, I've never used this before. I'm going to take my little thing and just pop it back on. It's easy, just like that. And then, so now I've got a full, ready to go foundation. And then I'll have a second one after this too, once I get all the powder in here and stop making a mess. All right, guys, let me know if you have any questions on Savvy Minerals. I really love the full line. I've been using it now for several months, and I really enjoy it. So, let me read your comment. I would end up adding it to a clean face SPF to make it a tinted moisturizer. Yes, so you can add it to you can use, so what some people do is they take the Seedlings diaper rash cream, and some people use that. Some people will also so they'll blend their, they'll put their powder into that and put it on. They'll use that as a concealer mostly rather than the full face. And then some people will add some of this powder to their moisturizer and add it to their face, and that gives a more dewy look. I like matte, so adding it to my moisturizer hasn't ever been something that I've wanted to do, but I have tried it just to see how it feels, and I do prefer a more matte look. So I completely understand. A lot of folks love dewy, which, by all means. I think my whole preference in matte is because I've got super oily skin, so I'm like, get the dew away from my face immediately. Like, I don't want any parts or relationship with anything dewy, okay? No oil, no dew, just matte. All right, so I'm gonna post this video in the group. If you guys have any questions after you watch it, let me know. Yoli, thanks for joining and playing along with me. You guys have a great weekend and enjoy your Easter. Bye.